Ladies and gentlemen, you welcome to this edition of the 6 p.m. prime time newscast on Equinoxe television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Babla Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news, a pastor tells Cameroon's Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Joseph Jangote, and other members of government that the poor are the most affected by the 4-year-long armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. The man of God speaking during the burial or the funeral ceremony for the 7 students who died in the Kumba school shooting earlier today, said that government and all other parties involved must sit down and solve the problem quickly, or things, or better still atrocities, will continue happening. He urged all to seek the face of God, or all efforts will be in vain. And Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Jangote reiterated government's commitment to take care of the children who were wounded during the shooting in Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy until they are fit to return home. Once more, thank you for joining us on this edition of the news on Equinoxe television. We begin right away in the town of Kumba, Meme Division, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, where the nation was paying homage to the 7 students killed in the shooting in Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy on 24th of last month. And the Prime Minister was there representing the head of state, President Paul Biya. A pastor speaking during that ceremony urged the minister, the Prime Minister, and other members of government to seek the face of God, or all efforts to solve the Anglophone crisis will be in vain. He indicated that the poor are the most affected by the crisis, and that if nothing is done quickly, more atrocities will come up in the days ahead. Smanjik and Gabriel reports.
Mourners struggling to remove the caskets of one of the kids killed at Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy. We are at the Kumba District Hospital mortuary, where the bodies of the 7 kids were being removed. It was one of the incidents that caught the attention of the mourners, who turned out massively to bid farewell to these innocent kids who were brutally murdered last October 24th, 2020. Amongst the mourners was the official representative of the head of state, Chief Dr. Joseph Jangote. The ceremony that took place at the amusement park had as a high point the presentation of a wreath of flower from the presidential couple by the Prime Minister, then the sermon from the clergymen, who told the Prime Minister that since the crisis began, the innocent ones have been dying, urging him and his government to act swiftly to end the crisis. At the end of their sermon, the clergymen laid their hands on the caskets. At the end of the ecumenical service, the Prime Minister moved from one parent to another, giving them words of encouragement. As the Prime Minister left the ceremonial ground, each of the parents took away their kids for burial, with one of the kids expected to be buried in Tombel this Friday.
And the Prime Minister spoke to the press shortly after the ceremony. Take a listen.
Asked me to come here with the governor of the Southwest region, along with many members of government, to console with the parents of the young persons who were killed, the young students who were killed, and also to visit those who were injured in hospital. Madame Chantal Biya, our First Lady, also sent gifts and assistance to those families. The President of the Republic, who is a father, father and a grandfather, is extremely saddened by what happened here, and we are all, as parents, also touched by it, and he's asked me to come and give his solidarity with the people of Kumba and with the people of the southwest and northwest regions who have been going through a lot of adversity throughout these years. We are hopeful that this will come to an end very soon, and in any case the perpetrators of this odious act would be apprehended and brought before justice.
Now I'll bring to you an extract of the statement made by the Pentecostal pastor who told the Prime Minister that the poor are the most affected by the 4-year-long armed conflict, urging the government to do something as quick as possible or more atrocities will be happening in the days ahead in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. He also urged the government, all parties involved in the crisis and all Cameroonians in general to seek the will of God, or there will be no solution for the Anglophone crisis. Listen to him.
All the opportunities to work towards peace. And peace cannot come outside the house. It comes only inside the house. And therefore we have to sit down and talk about the problem which is going on in our house and causing a lot of bloodshed in our land. This is the whole message of the gospel. If we don't talk about peace,
and in pains and sorrow, one of the school children spoke to us during that ceremony, recognizing government's help and praying that they should be protected and permitted to benefit from their right to education. Listen to him. Listen to him.
Tired of it. We are tired of our colleagues in school being massacred like that, like fowls, like animals, as if life don't have value again. And we want to also appreciate the government for sending the Prime Minister and so that another heads to come and bury the students and give them a befitting burial.
And the President of the Republic sending the Prime Minister to come and consolidate our land. I thank you.
We also spoke to the member of Cameroon's lower house of parliament for Kumba, Urban, Honorable Tabot Lawson, who urged all to put hands on deck for a return to peace and normalcy, not only in Kumba, but the rest of Anglophone Cameroon. Take a listen.
By the government and particularly the presidential family. You see, since this incident happened, the government has been so much at work, taking care of the sick, making sure that these children are well taken care of in the hospital, their bills attended to, and then to the families that who have lost their children, they have been well addressed. Their issues have been well addressed. We know no financial aspect can bring back the life of somebody who is of late, but when you are bereaved and people come and show attention to you, the story goes different. And I think that the government, through the Prime Minister, and above all, the President of the Republic, who is the #1, has shown attention. On Monday, we will be Mr. Banganji on the families on behalf of the head of state. Today, we are here with the Prime Minister, personal representative of the head of state, and with a heavy package of the comfort to comfort the baby family from Madam Shantabia. I think it's a wonderful, it's something wonderful. And the cries of the mothers of the town of Kumba, praying for peace, asking that peace should return in the town. There should be an end to bloodshed, be it on the part of the separatists, be it on the part of the government. There should be an end to bloodshed. And we look forward in the head of state, whom I know that he will relentlessly, tirelessly fight to make sure that Cameroonians live in peace and in happiness. So I trust my heart on the head of state, and I believe that measures will be effectively taken in the days ahead to ensure lasting security.
Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Dengute reiterated government's commitment to take care of all the students who were injured during the shooting in Mother Francisco International Bilingual Academy, Kumba 2 subdivision, on the 24th of last month. He was speaking at the Kumba District Hospital. Smanjikan Gabriel has more.
After his reception by authorities of Kmer Division at Barumbikang, the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gute, drove straight away to the Kumba District Hospital. The facility is hosting 2 of the victims of last October 24, 2020 massacre that took place at the Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy. At each of the births, the Prime Minister gave comforting words to the kids as well as their parents. He left some packs which he said came from the First Lady of the Republic. More than a dozen of these kids are being hospitalized in other hospitals around Cameroon.
In a similar incident, the government promises to take care, psychologically speaking, of the students who were affected by the last attack on a school in the Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. I'm talking about the attack in a school in Limbe in the southwest region. The government, through the medical health specialists or mental health specialists at the Limbe Regional Hospital, said that everything is being done to ensure that the children are not psychologically down. Take a listen.
I want to inform the population of Limbe as a whole that the Sub-Director of Mental Health, Madame Dr. Mengemelo, opened up a team that is going to work close one-on-one with pass through that traumatic incident, to bring their moral and their self-esteem back and to put them in place. This we are pleading, we are really pleading and calling upon all those that have been traumatized, that the mental health service in the Limbe Regional Hospital is open for them. The director have opened the consultation to be free. They are not alone. The government is with them, the mental health team is with them, and accompany you and assist you in any way that you need help, psychologically, physically, or spiritually.
Ebam Eyokobi Tabi, mental health specialist at the Limbe Regional Hospital, speaking there. Now to the northwest region of the country, the town of Kumbu, for some days has been witnessing a series of abductions, teachers and students. And in the report coming up next, a northwest correspondent Stella paints the picture of Kumbu before the return of its traditional ruler. Her report.
Kumbu is the divisional headquarters of Boi. Before 2016, it was a fast-growing town. Today, it is characterized by gun battles between the non-state armed groups and government forces. Evidence on these buildings, some of which were burnt, is how fierce some of the battles were. This has chased the active population away, taking the town many years behind.
What we are doing now in Kumbu is to earn an income. You cannot more invest because of business. You cannot lose of doing business for 3 days a week in Kumbu.
The usual hustle and bustle at the famous Kumbu Squares is now history. The supply of potable water, electricity, to name these few, have been unstable. At his Konawata metal shop, Nsosika Isaac is unable to satisfy his customers.
When like now, so we are using that, but now that is okay. And the price, if you want to buy something,
in 2018, the South Fondon was particularly hit by what many have described as unthinkable. This led to the evacuation of the phone. His absence for 2 years now means a deserted Sok Palace.
In Kumbu, in Sok, we had what we call the Ngonso Cultural Festival, which was at the end of each year. So we have really missed, especially the Yengwiro.
Some weeks ago, Ngwerong, which is the supreme organ in Sok, performed traditional rites aimed at cleansing the land in anticipation for the return of the phone. Many have linked the outing of the Ngwerong to the December 6, 2020 announced regional elections. She Wongang, head of the Ngwerong, speaking to Equinoxe television at the Sok Palace, debunks these claims.
The message that Ngwerong gave out was this, very clear. The Ngwerong's mission and said that if anybody is coming to this palace here, you should make sure that you are coming with the traditional issues. The tradition does not have anything to do with politics. so that the phone have to remain and control his people the way they want him and the way they put him into that room to do it.
Expectations are wide in Kumbo as the arrival of the phone has been announced. Fonsem being Lord the First of Saul is expected in the days ahead at his palace.
Coming up, Smart Jika Gabriel, rather Immaculate Fogwe takes a look at the impact of the closure of borders on the town of Kyosi in the south region of the Republic of Cameroon. This has brought an adverse impact, notably on economic activities in that part of the country. Her report.
The closure of the border town of Kyosi, which shares boundaries with Equatorial Guinea and Gabon 11 months ago, economic activities have been paralyzed. The recent outbreak of the coronavirus further reinforced the decision, forcing business persons to be stranded. For close to a year, business activities have declined. When they first closed the border, they told us it was because Equatorial Guinea was commemorating National Day. Since then, it was never reopened. We can spend a week without being able to sell 5,000 francs. Things are really hard on us. Several persons had to abandon the area. Some of us are still here because we have no other choice. We are just managing. The newly installed mayor of Kyosi, Zui Jean-Marie, in order to revamp the crippling economy, has ensured the destruction of all illegal control posts in this area, which has scared away several investors. Some business persons are now waiting patiently for this administrative measure to be effective, most especially for borders to reopen for them to bounce back in their business transactions.
Out of Cameroon, vote counting is still going on in the United States of America, and the name of the next president of the USA is yet to be known. Former Vice President Joe Biden is still leading with 264 votes against 214 Electoral College votes for incumbent President Donald Trump, and 5 states are yet to deliver their results so far. In some hours back, former Vice President Joe Biden won Michigan and Wisconsin, and 5 states are yet to deliver their results, and the gap is narrowing down gradually between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And Donald Trump on his part is threatening to use the judiciary to call for a recount of votes if he comes out the loser. We'll be bringing to you updates. Thank you for staying with us. That's it for today. Goodbye.